Hello, guys. Greetings to you again, wherever you are. Today, we are learning how to do this artwork in Photoshop. So, we are going ahead to you drag this work to Photoshop. After it opens, after it opens, I'm going to duplicate this work in order for us to see for ourselves the original work and how it was made from scratch. So let me hide everything. Let me hide all my layers so that we review them step by step. Okay, yeah. So when I hide my layers, these are the things that happen. Okay, yeah, these are the things that happen. You see, you can't see anything in the work space. You can't see anything. You can't view anything. Yeah. So this is the original work, and we are going to see how I started working on it from scratch. Okay, yeah. So I started with with my my space or working area size. Okay, you can never work without creating the space on that you work on. So Control Alt plus I to view uh, image size. So I was working on 60 by 48, which is 5 by 4 feet. 60 inches by 48 inches, which is 5 by 4 feet. If you don't know how to convert from feet to inches, you can let me know in the comment section so that I teach you how to do that. So I started this beautiful artwork with an idea of bringing the team here, the heading just in the middle like this, the people here, and arranging the other ministers also here, and bringing the info just between them. Yeah, and that was how I came up with the arrangement. And with the colors, I felt like giving it a bluish background, a gradient from white to blue, and giving the text some orange colors, and also messing up with the colors like that. So it took time for me. So this was how I started everything. So I started by creating my gradient, which is that blue to white gradient that you see at the background. Yeah, and I mostly create my gradients on my rectangular shapes that I draw on the working area. So I created that gradient here, the gradient that you see here. And the next thing I did was I added, I think you can see there is a sky. When you zoom in, you can see a sky in the blue. Okay, yeah, in order to blend the sky with the blue. So I added the sky. This is how it looks like. I think I reduced the opacity. Okay, the opacity is 37%. Yeah, I didn't want it to show that much, and I filled the edges. uh, the next thing I did was to add a lens flare. Okay, so I added a lens flare. I set the blend mode to screen. Okay, in order to get that whitish lens flare that I want in the middle here. I think everybody can see that. Yeah, and the next thing I also did was to start adding my congregation to the background. So you can see there was a congregation here. That was the next thing I did after the lens flares. And I added the rectangle in which I'll place my logo. Okay, yes. So I added the rectangle, and the next thing, the next thing was, the next thing was after I added the rectangle, the next thing was the logo. Okay, so I brought the logo and I made sure that I choose a color that fits the background. Okay, yeah, a color that falls in the family of the color of the background. So that's what I did, and I started with my testing. So the name of the logo or the church That's Royal House Zion International. So that's what I wrote. You can see that in the original artwork. That's what I wrote. And yeah, the next thing I did was the next thing I did was also ministry. I brought also ministry in here because I felt I would do that arrangement that came in my mind. And the next thing I also did, the next thing I also did real quick was I brought my 10th March 2024 here because of my details. Okay, yeah. So that's what I did. The next, and I also followed by continuing with my details. Accessory link code, that's the details, that's part of the location. So I also brought Naya's, you see that, yeah, as it is here. uh And the next thing I also did was for more info, okay, yeah, I brought a rectangle, a, an orange rectangle that I'll place the number in it. So, in order to make the thing very lively, I decided to put some lines there. Okay, yeah, in order to show differences between the tests. Okay, yeah, it will make it not feel boring when you are watching, and it will make it not feel just one way when you look at the flyer or poster. And I added the telephone lines. I started adding the names of the people. Okay, I added the names of the people. I placed them at the location that I want them to be. Okay, that's what I also did. Yeah, that was the name of the people. You can see here that I've also visit my beginning. Okay, the place where I started with the testing. So I felt like, oh, I'm leaving one place blank. So I came back and I added my present. You can see present here. So so and so present. Okay, then you bring the title. So I added the present and this group here, group two. There are a series of lines that I created myself. Okay, yeah, I just drew them myself and I read them myself. Yeah. You can let me know if you want to know how to create some special things like for yourself in the comment section. I will help you do that. Yeah, and I started adding some dogs. You can see from the original artwork that there are a couple of dogs in the background. But I started adding my dogs. They are a little bit blurry. Yeah, and I started. So this another one. This another one. Okay, and this orange. This orange tint like uh, brush. I just added it at the tip of the down corner, the far right down corner. Okay, in order to blend with any orange that I'll add in the working area. So I also added this, which is the next dove. Okay, and the thing I did again was the service. So the service I wanted to make the vein big. You can see it here. The surface, the vein is very big. I wanted to make the vein big, so I made the vein a different layer and made that one size very big so that I can work specifically on that one. So Thanksgiving, I wrote the Thanksgiving. You can see that the A here is a hand. Okay, it feels like a hand giving thanks, saying thank you. Okay, yeah, so I wrote the Thanksgiving and eliminated the A because I'm going to put that hand there. All right, so I placed that hand there. I had the hand from online and I tweaked the color. I went to blending options and choose color overlay. Okay, yeah, choose color overlay, and I started with the people. So I started with this man. I added this one. I added this one. So if I place the person there, I resize the person, then I feed the person. So that was how I was doing with the person, with the people. Okay, so that was quite it. It wasn't anything different. Okay, so I also added this one, and the next thing I added this, I added, I started. So from the people, I came and I started adding my bosses, from which I will add the other people. So when I put the boss there, I add a person, and it's a clip mask. A clip mask. I use clip mask to insert the people in the box. If you don't know how to do that, let me know in the comment section so that I teach you. If I put the boss there, I add the person straight away. Yes, I add a person because their name is even already there. If I put the boss there, I add a person. If I put the boss there, I add a person. If I put the boss there, I add a person. If I put the boss there, I add a person. Yes, and that is how I did it. And that is how I did it. That is how I did it. So the next thing that I did was this ellipse tool. So I felt like, oh, I shouldn't bring um, the the time here. Yeah, I brought the date here in a line in a linear form, but I felt like, oh, let me make the time very 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 different from that of the date because they are similar infos. Okay, people look at one and looks for the other. I want to know the other. Okay, so I did this line, circular line, with the use of my shape tools. I started writing my time, okay, my tests and other stuff. So I added this one. I added this arrow. Okay, yeah, I added this arrow in order for people to just the arrow. What the arrow is saying, look at this place. Okay, so when you see the arrow, you're going to look at that is the number. That's the place where the number is, so that you call them for any more info. So I started adding the name of these great people. Yeah, that is the process. It's simply cool, very very cool. Yes, very 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 cool. And I decided to blend my blue color at this top with this blue here. So it's just a rectangle, and I blend it. Okay, that's all. And Thanksgiving service, I wrote it here with color blue in order to blend with this one. Okay, this guy's color, the orange in it blends with this. Yeah, I just place some little things orange here which blends with this uh, work and makes it very nice. Okay, so this is how I came up with this work. So kindly subscribe and share to your friends and loved ones. For anybody that this one will be helpful for the person, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.